yogis, welcome to Beyond Body with Abigail. I'm going to be leading you through a very dynamic but easy to follow yoga practice today. So let's meet on the mat. Today I'm going to lead you through a dynamic flow which will be very simple to follow. All you're going to need is a yoga mat. Start by bringing your hands towards your heart. Close your eyes. Tuning in with your breath. Wherever you're holding the tension, just let it go. Maybe you need to wiggle around from one bum to the next. Just to become comfortable on your mat. Our thoughts will drift, but it's the practice of bringing your mind back to what is needed and necessary in the moment that brings us mindfulness and a sense of calm. Now, wherever you're at, cross your legs the other way. Bring your hands to your knees and roll your shoulders up and back. A couple of times. And reverse it, take it forward. Bring your hands towards your belly, and we're going to start with pranayama here. And I really want you to, or I invite you to just feel how your belly expands with every inhalation and contracts with every exhalation. Expands with an inhalation and contracts with every exhalation. Do a couple of breaths here on your own. Breathing in a little bit longer than natural and exhaling a little bit longer than natural. Flushing our internal organs with fresh oxygen. Bring your hands back to heart center. Slowly open your eyes, keeping your gaze down to the earth. I would like to invite you to tune in with my voice. I will be giving verbal instructions, and I really want you to practice listening to my instructions. Of course, you can look every now and again, but I really want you to be so in tune with your body by just listening to my instructions. Clasp your hands and roll your wrists. Very slow, lubricating the joints. Now press your palms forward, stretching the knuckles, and bring your arms up to the sky. Lift your shoulders as high as you can to get that stretch in the side of your body into your lower back, and just relax your shoulders down. Exhale. Inhale. Really lift your shoulders up. Exhale, relax. Now release and just turn to the left. So you're twisting your left ribs or your right ribs forward. And you're keeping that right knee relaxed. Once again, check in with your body. Try not to hold any tension. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Now open your arms with your right hand on your knee and your left hand behind your back. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist again. Release and come back to the center. We're going to go to the other side. So relax the left knee and turn your body towards the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Once more, inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Open the arms, place the left hand on the right knee and twist to find the back wall. Release, come back to center. Now clasp your hands behind your back. Lift your chest, open your collarbones, feeling that stretch along the pectoral muscles and in the shoulders. Now, chin down. If you can, place your forehead on the ground and just let your arms relax forward and over your head. Again, check in. If you're holding any tension, release. One more breath here. And exhale, come back to center. Place your hands on your knees and step your feet out. Now start to wiggle your toes, right and left. Circle the ankle. Place your hands on the floor and drop your knees one side and the other. So we're flushing our blood to flow towards our lower limb, towards our knees, our thighs, our ankles, slowly waking up the lower body. From here, place your hands on the floor, swing your feet back and come into tabletop position with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Now just sway one side to the other, just to explore the weight of your body on your knees and your ankles. Spreading your fingers. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Arching your spine. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Look at your belly button. Now we will be doing a variation of cat and cow. Inhale, cow pose, look up, lift your chest. You're welcome to close your eyes. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your chin, look up. Now prepping for our variation, tuck your toes under and push back into downward facing dog. Bending your knees, walking your dog. Again, stretching the back of the legs from the calves to the hamstrings to the lower back. And drop your knees back down on the floor. Inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back, downward facing dog. Maybe this time your dog is slightly quieter, your heels are pressing into the ground. Spread your fingertips. Bend your knees, inhale, look up. Arch the spine. Exhale, drop the chin to your chest. Push back, downward facing dog. Now looking forward, shift your weight towards your fingertips. Perhaps you need to step your hands under your shoulders. Keeping your feet as wide as your hips. From here, we're going to drop the knees down to the floor and tuck the toes. You're going to start by bending your elbows towards the side of your body, lowering your chest down, looking forward. Sending your legs back and your chest forward, we're going to come into baby cobra. So you're rolling your shoulders back, your elbows are coming towards each other, and you're gazing forward. Try not to lift the chin too much. That will bring a bit of a strain in the back of your neck. So lengthen from the base of your spine to the top of your head. Now tuck your chin, rolling through the spine, push back into downward facing dog.
One more, just like so, lifting the heels, bending the knees. Place your chest and your chin down on the ground, looking forward. Send your legs back, your chest forward, coming into cobra pose. Maybe this time slightly higher, engaging your glutes. Tuck your chin, bend your knees, and press back into downward facing dog. Let's do one more. Heels up, soften your knees to the ground, chest and chin forward. Sending the legs back, chest up. Maybe this time coming all the way up into upward facing dog with your thighs off the floor, shoulders pulling down. Tuck the chin, push back, downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Lift the left leg up, keeping that left hip down to the floor so your hips are parallel to your mat. Spread your toes, flex your toes, but point your ankles. Visualize a straight line from the tips of your toes to the wrists. Now bend the knee, look forward, go on tippy toes with the right foot, and step the foot in the gap. Coming into high lunge with your tips of your fingers on the floor, stretching that leg back, pulling up the kneecap of that right leg. Now drop the knee to the floor, untuck the back foot, and coming all the way up. Now we're going to cactus the arms, bend the elbows, and lift. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift. We're going to add a bit of a variation here. So you're going to soften your pelvis forward to get that stretch in the front of the hip flexor of that right leg. Exhale, lift up. Bend the elbows and lift up. One more, just like so. Bend the elbows. This time, place the hands on the ground, tuck the toes behind, plank. Bend your knees, place your chest and your chin on the ground, push up into upward facing dog, press back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, hold it here, rolling the right hip down, spreading the toes, flexing the toes but pointing the ankles. Pressing the hands firmly into the mat, again visualizing that straight line from ankle to wrists. Bend the knee, comes on the tip of your toes of the left foot. Shift your weight forward and step that right foot in the gap. High lunge with the tips of your fingers still supporting. Bend the back knee, place it on the ground, untuck the toes, and shift your weight up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Really open the elbows to the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the front knee. Deeper, feeling that stretch on the left hip flexor. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, up. One more, exhale. Hands down to the floor, and this time pressing back, downward facing dog. We're going to repeat that sequence with a variation. So lifting that left leg up. Again, visualizing a straight line from ankle to wrists. Now adding the variation, bend the knee and open that hip. Staying here or looking under the left armpit. dropping the knee back towards the center, lifting onto demi point, so high tippy toes of the right leg, and step that left foot forward, coming into a high lunge. Now from here, you're welcome to place your knee back on the ground or challenge yourself and come into high lunge with your fingers pointing up, really pulling up the back knee and bending into that front leg. You want to create a 90-degree angle with the front leg. The right hip is rolling forward, the thigh is engaged, so you're wrapping your muscles towards your skeleton. From here, we're going to drop the elbows, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift, stretch the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Hands to the floor, and let's meet in plank pose. Now, the variation for this is to go into chaturanga. If you wish to go knee, chest, and chin, feel free. So bending your elbows, slowly lowering your belly through chaturanga. Untuck the toes, pushing up into upward facing dog. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe walk out your fingers, lengthening your down dog a little bit, depending on how much capacity you have in the range of your ankles or how warm your calves are. Try not to sink into your arms, sinking into your shoulders, but lift, press the base of your palms into the floor. One more breath here. Lifting that right leg up. Again, keeping that right hip forward first, spreading the toes, flexing in the ankle, flexing in the toes, but pointing in the ankle. Visualizing that straight line from ankle to wrist. Now bend the knee and open the hip. Feeling that juicy stretch on the inner thigh. Staying here for balance or looking under the right armpit. Rolling the hip forward, stepping the right foot in between the gap. Coming high lunge with your fingertips on the floor, pulling up the thigh of the left leg. Press into the front leg as you lift your arms up to high lunge. Again, pulling up that back leg, engaging the thigh and bending into that front leg. Bend the elbows, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Lengthening that front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Place the hands on the floor and press back, downward facing dog. We're going to lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. You can step, walk, or jump to the front of your mat. Coming halfway lift, looking forward. Exhale, lowering your chest towards your thighs. Now soften your knees just a little bit. Grab a hold of your elbows and ragdoll forward. If you need to create space between your ankles to stabilize your balance, please go ahead. Release your hands to the floor, bend the knees a little bit deeper and rolling up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Bring your feet together. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands on the floor jump back into your chaturanga or high plank, vinyasa all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees and slowly roll through the spine. Let's do one more just like so. Inhale, halfway lift. All the way. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift onto the tips of your fingers, look forward. Bend your knees, jump back, high plank or chaturanga. Lifting your spine, push back, downward facing dog. From here, spreading your toes, bring your feet together. Lift that left leg up, open the hip. Really open the hip. This time we want to keep the legs straight, pointing your toes as much as you can. Now bend the knee, bring your heel towards your butt and kick it out. Bend your knee and stretch it out. One more just like so. Bend your knee and drop the knee towards the center. So bring your left knee next to your right knee. Now from here, bring the knee towards the chest and turn your right heel in, stepping that left leg forward. So we're going to come into a falling star, looking down, bringing that right arm up to the sky. Bring the right hand back down to the floor and step back, downward facing dog. Now this is a practice, so we're practicing. If you didn't quite get what I was trying to explain on the one side, we will do it on the other side. So bring the leg up, open the hips, pointing the toes, stretching the knee. Bend the knee, heel to butt. Pointing the toes, stretch the leg up. Once more, bend the knee, heel to butt, and stretch the toes. Once more, bend the knee and roll that right hip forward. Bring the knee to your chest, bringing your weight towards your fingers. Now, the left heel will drop down, so you're turning towards the left. Step the right foot in the gap and lift the left arm up. Fallen star. So this is also a twist in the obliques, looking down for extra secure in your balance. Place the left hand back to the ground, press back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and place your knees on the ground. Untuck your toes. Now open your knees as wide as your mat and send your hips back towards your heels. This is an active child's pose, so we're really stretching our elbows and coming onto our fingertips. Drop your forehead onto the ground. Relaxing the hips towards the heels. Now in a child's pose where your knees are wider, you'll feel the stretch in the lower back, but majority in the chest and the shoulders. If you choose to bring your knees together, and you're welcome to test this, you will feel more of a stretch in the lower back and in the upper back, but not so much in the front of the chest. Taking one deep breath here and sigh it out. Let's meet in down dog. Lift the left leg up, bend the knee, look forward, and we're going to go into pigeon pose. So you're going to slide that left knee onto the ground and slide the back leg away. So initially I want you to bring the foot quite close towards that right hip, rolling that right hip down. Now if you need a little bit of support on the glute on the left side, go ahead, place a pillow under. Bring your hands under your chest and stay here for a couple of breaths.
If you're quite flexible already, keep walking that foot back and walking the front foot slightly further forward. If you would like, you can place your elbows down. Keep the chest forward. Pressing the hands into the floor. Tuck the back toes under and back into downward facing dog. Prepping for the other side, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, look forward and slide the knee towards the right wrist, sliding the back leg away. Again, if you need a pillow under the right glute, grab the pillow, place it for support. If you do have the flexibility, walk that back foot further out and away from your body. Option 1 is to keep your hands in front of your chest. Option 2, if you do want to challenge yourself, walk the right foot forward, roll the left hip forward and place your elbows on the floor. Quiet the mind. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, drop the weight even further. I want you to try that again. Really focus on what happens to your body when you exhale. Inhale. Now exhale, just release. As if you're flushing your joints and your muscles with renewed energy, and it just lengthens even deeper. Step your hands back up, tuck the back toe under, and let's push back, downward facing dog. We will be going towards the mat. So bending your knees, place your knees on the floor, untuck your toes. Let's start with a child's pose. You can choose to keep your knees together, or if you'd like, you can open your knees. Slowly start to roll through the spine all the way up to a seated position. Bring your knees together. And swing your legs to face the front of your mat. Bring your legs together. Place your hands either on your thighs, your shins, or the side of your body. Lift your chest, look up, and look forward. Now walk your hands wherever you want, or wherever feels comfortable for your lower back and your hamstrings. Walk your hands forward and hold on to your toes. Go as far as you can, keeping the back of your spine straight. And when you've reached your limit, then round the spine. Relax. Walking your hands back slowly, bringing your spine up to neutral, and shift your waist forward. Step your feet as wide as the mat, hold onto your thighs, and slowly roll onto the ground. Feet together, bring your left knee up to the chest. And down. Bring your right knee up. hand down. Bring both legs together. Now from here, I just want you to place your hands on the floor and rock your hips side to side. Go as far as your core allows. So don't go too low and don't go too high. You just want to feel a little bit of your core engaging as you're lowering your knees side to side. Twisting in the waist, keeping the opposite shoulder down. So when you go to the right, you keep the left shoulder grounded. When you go to the left, you keep your right shoulder grounded. And once more over to the right or to the left, and let's meet in the center. As we come to the end of our practice, wiggle around on your mat to get super comfortable. Send your feet away and turn your wrists to face the sky. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Part your lips just a little bit. Shavasana. And as you start to wiggle your toes and your fingers, soften the space between your eyebrows, step your feet up and roll onto your right. Keeping your eyes closed, press your hands into the floor and come to a seated position. Bringing your hands to heart center. How does the skin on your body feel? How does the weight of your body feel on your sitting bones now compared to the beginning of the class? Can you notice a difference? There doesn't necessarily have to be a difference. We strive for there to be growth. But growth doesn't happen overnight. Growth is a process that allows a lot of patience, kindness, and practice. This is why we meet on the mat ever so often. Place your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.